Hello, and welcome to Threefold Herbal Healing. I'm Herbalist Leo. I help people who feel sick and tired of being sick and tired, or people who struggle with chronic conditions, grow their health from the roots up. One of the things that I believe in is that seasonal living is part of be living with alignment with the planet, that the condition of life, of the environment change from season to season. And when we tune our body to those conditions, we support the body. So today I'm talking about leaf as both food and medicine for the springtime. What are the qualities of leaves that make them such a huge support for us in the spring? Leaves are the part of the plant that emerges from the earth the moment the snow melt, the moment the earth warmed a little bit. That's mark the beginning of spring. It makes total sense because leaves give the plant the energy that they need in order to grow, develop, and thrive. They are the foundation of life on the earth. Their superpower is their ability to transform sunlight into sugar that feed the entire planet. So it's not just that this ability feed the plants, but it's feed also that the animal that feed on the plants, and it feeds also predators that feed the animals that feed on plants, and it feed us. It feed us when we eat vegetables and fruit, and it feed us when we eat animals that were fed plants. So we take we take them for granted. But actually, if you contemplate the place of leaves in the ecology of the earths, how they sustain the entire ecology, it's really inspiring. It's almost like a religious experience. The energy in animals and in the human body is produced by combining the nutrients from food digestion and the oxygen we take in when we breathe. In plants, leaves function as both digestion and respiration. So they do what the digestive system do, and they also do what the breathing system do. In the plants, leaves are placed in the middle of the body between the root and the flower, very much like the lungs, the ribs, the vertebra, and the heart, which are placed between the head, the nervous system, that morphologically looks very much like roots, and the torso and legs, that is more like the fruits and the flower. Leaves are arranged around the stem in different patterns in different botanical family. So every botanical family have a different way to arrange the leaves around the stem. For example, in the mint family, the leaves grow in pairs opposite each other, and they rotate 90 degrees from one pair to the next. So they grow one pair like that, and then the next pair like that. In the rose family plants, including berries, but also fruit trees like peach and apples and hawthorn, the leaves are arranged in a spiral around the stem. It looks very much like the stairs in the Sleeping Beauty fairy tale. Although the pattern different from one botanical family to the other, all leaves are organized in a very rhythmical, it's a very musical pattern, much like the ribs and the vertebra are organized around the lung and the spinal cord. So if we sum it all up, when we talk about form and function of leaves, how they organize within plants, they are placed around the stem and usually follow the same morphology as ribs and vertebra around the lungs and spinal cord. Functionally, however, leaves combine the function of the lung with the function of the digestive system. So let's talk a little bit about the energetic of leaves. And when I mean energetic, what is it? What do I mean? So the Western energetic system used the four elements to observe patterns in nature. It's something that came from the alchemist and the herbalist of ancient times. Spring was always associated with the water element, as were leaves. Leaves were also associated with the water elements. So leaves, spring, water. Water needs to be in constant movement. Standing water becomes a swamp. They collect algae, toxins, and mosquitoes, and basically they become toxic. Moving water, however, is the carrier of nutrients, and they carry away toxins too. They are nourishing and purifying. Water take the form of every vessel that contains them. They are a model for adaptability because they take, you pour the water to a cup, it takes the form of a cup. You pour them into a bowl, they take the form of the bowl. It is considered to be a universal solvent because it can bind to many compounds. Minerals, especially salts, are drawn to water because they help balance the fluidity of the water and give it some form. Water also embodies the concept of rebirth and renewal. In the eternal cycle of life, the nourishing rain brings barren land back to life, heralding a season of growth and transformation. Similarly, within the depth of our souls, the return of spring with rains and mud season invites us to wake up from winter slumber. Use water to transform the etheric energy of light, the air element, into sugar from the earth element. It really embodies the element of in between the earth and the air, which is the water element. Seasonal living for me is about slowing down and observing the changes in nature. I also include my body when I speak about nature because I believe that my body, your body, everybody's body is part of nature. I don't speak about connecting to nature because when you are part of nature, you don't need to work to connect to it. One of the perks of living in New England is having 4 distinctive seasons. I get to experience the different energy between the cold, dry winter and the hot, sometimes dry, sometimes humid summer. Between them, spring is wet and mild. After a long winter where I eat bowls and bowls and bowls of warm soup and stews, heavy meals, spring finally arrives with the craving for light meals. As always, in her generosity, the earth is here for me. The greenhouse beds are filled with abundance of spinach and arugula. Near my compost pile, the chickweed patch is thriving. And behind the greenhouse where I dump old potting soil, the nettle is slowly emerging. Hippocrates famously said that food is medicine. In my clinic, I find that instead of reaching out for the medicine or supplement cabinet, your backyard garden or the local farmer's market can provide you with the medicine you need most. Green leaves are high in nutrients, including vitamins and minerals. They are also a good source of fiber that can help move your bowel, reduce blood triglyceride and cholesterol, and feed your gut bacteria. So here are some leaves that I consider eating in the spring and the benefit they bring with them. So kale. Just 1 cup of kale can provide the entire recommended amount of vitamin A. Vitamin A is a substrate of immunoglobulin A. And immunoglobulin A is an important antibody that lives in your mucous membrane, that happens in the nose, in the throat, in the lungs, in the digestive system, in the eyes, anywhere in the body that come in touch with the outside world. Immunoglobulin A and the mucus act as your first line of defense for your immune system. It traps pathogens, it kind of prevents them from docking to your cells, and it expels them out. A balanced immune globulin A and a balanced mucous membrane is crucial for preventing seasonal allergy, which is something that a lot of people deal with in the spring. Spinach. Again, just 1 cup of spinach will give you more than enough of your daily recommended vitamin C. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant and a mast cell stabilizer. So it will reduce the symptoms of seasonal allergy, so appropriate for spring, but also being antioxidant, it helps reduce the damage that happens when you have inflammation. So that inflammation could be because seasonal allergy, but it could be for other reasons. Spinach, high in vitamin C, highly recommended, and yummy too. The last one is arugula. The last one that I'm talking about is arugula. It is a bitter dark leaf, one of my favorite from the cruciferous family. As a bitter green, it contains compounds that stimulate liver enzyme and bile production. Therefore, it reduces toxic overload in the body. It really supports the liver. Spring was traditionally a detox season because winter was associated with all those heavy meals that I talked about and with also sedentary lifestyles. So people didn't have not the blood and not the lymphs moving around, and therefore their toxicity was increased. All dark greens are rich with polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is associated with all metabolic processes in your body. But when you have inflammation, your metabolic processes are accelerated and there is more oxidative stress than usual. Those dark leafy greens are rich with fiber that can feed your gut bacteria and create a healthy, more diverse colony in your gut that is the foundation of a balanced immune system. And one of the things that I talk about when I talk about preventing seasonal allergy is really cultivating a healthy gut ecology. It is really magical how leaves emerge from the dead soil of winter right as we need them to support the energy shift we experience as we move from winter into spring. In the physical body, that support include letting go of toxins that accumulated during the winter and supporting the immune system as it adapts to the dramatic environmental change that happens in spring. They feed our soul with the water element that fosters growth and transformation, the rebirth of a new season. Leaves this spring, they are so fresh when they come. The first leaves of springs are so different than the leaves of summer. They are so fresh and crispy. The combination of cold night and longer day creates beautiful, nourishing, tasty, crunchy leaves. Enjoy them. Enjoy spring. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me again. I hope you benefited. I hope you'll leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you have questions, I would love to answer them. Thank you and have a good time.